This video is brought to you by Ninja Funk. Help save the universe from bad music by telling your local comic shop to order Whatnot Publishing's first original comic, coming out on November 2nd. Big shout out to JPG, that Spider-Man booth, street level hero, for this awesome project. What's going on, everybody? GemMint here, fresh from San Diego Comic-Con, getting ready for C2E2, and XM Studios finally revealed their new Venom quarter scale statue. Now, XM Studios, I think they have the first true quarter scale Venom statue that they released about 5 years ago. Until then, we had this Sideshow Comiquette, which was awesome, just seemed a little underscaled. It didn't really seem like a quarter scale piece, although the portrait and the hands kind of matched up with others around that time. Either way, they put out that first Venom. I was a huge fan. It was massive. It had origins of Venom Easter eggs in the base, if you will. He had a huge presence. He had awesome switch outs, including a retooled McFarlane portrait that fans didn't really like upon release. Here we are, some years later. XM Studios has teamed up with the Chicherik brothers, who design and sculpt so many great pieces in the industry, and they've also been teasing this for a while as well, to release their Venom Eddie Brock statue, and we're going to take a look at it in full. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video, and make sure to leave me a comment and share this video. Let's look at these pictures. So it starts off with a huge picture of Venom next to the XM Studios coffee mug, and you can see they went with a very dynamic, ferocious type of design. Venom crawling out of this sea of statues, symbiote tendrils everywhere. Right away, I noticed that there is an interesting texture on Venom's skin. They didn't go smooth or matte. They really wanted to add the texture to make it feel alive. And here it looks like a Mark Bagley portrait. You have the mouth not too exaggerated, but those Bagley looking eyes that look so similar to Spider-Man's. This picture shows us the actual dimensions. So it's just shy of 34 inches tall, almost 23 inches wide, and about 27.5 inches deep. So it's got a deep footprint, but that could also depend on which way you angle this piece. Moving on, we have more of a close-up look with a switch out portrait. This one has a ferocious looking Venom face with the green slime all over the tongue, more of an Eric Larson look. It looks ferocious. I still have to grasp what I'm looking at as far as Venom. I'm hoping some of the other pictures give us some better angles so we can see exactly what we're looking at. So here we go, slightly tilted on a different angle. And like I said, he's kind of crawling out of this destroyed statue structure. I'm not really sure where the statue inspiration is coming from. It doesn't immediately resonate with a comic panel for me, although it may come from one. But he looks huge. You can see the big back with the big shoulders, almost a little messy, a little hard to make out. I definitely love the portrait. You've got the Venom, the Madness kind of tentacles poking out every which way, and they look ferocious with their little mouths and such, something that they did do with their first piece as well. And then here we have another portrait, the Transformation portrait. Now, XM Studios also kind of was the first to do that with their first Venom statue, and we're doing it again here, but we're going more extreme, more exaggerated. The tongue looks huge, as you can see it forming with the teeth around the right side of Eddie Brock's face, totally engulfing his face. It looks gnarly. And onto some close-ups here. So that green slime that I mentioned, you can see it up close. I love the color on the green. The eyes look great. They have subtle shading of black into white towards the center there. You could even see some subtle hints of blue in the black symbiote on his forehead. The jagged teeth everywhere with multiple rows like a shark looks awesome. And it kind of looks like you could see on his body some parts that are painted matte and some that have a high gloss to it, assuming that's where the symbiote tendrils are kind of flowing through. So here's a better angle from the back. You can see his right foot kind of up on that statue, his left foot down more deeper into the base, the waves of symbiote tendrils going behind him there, and it looks like that's what's giving him most of that depth. Again, angled, you'll probably save space. It's got a messy kind of spider emblem. I usually like that cleaner look, but this is not a clean looking Venom. You can see what I was talking about with those high gloss shiny veins running through the symbiote here. More of a downward look here. That Mark Bagley portrait, I love the eyes. I love how it goes so deep onto the top of his head there, almost connecting at the top. Here we have that Transformation portrait again. That's a sick looking portrait. On this one, we can see the right side of the symbiote face a little bit better, and you can see there's a lot of movement happening there. The eye is just forming. Huge teeth coming out the right side of his jaw. And here's a look at the base. You have angels and cherubs. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. I'm not really sure what the storytelling aspect is here. I mean, he's just trampling through this area. I mean, I guess you could say it's in the church right after he got the symbiote, perhaps. But here's an up-close look at those statues, and there's great texturing within them. I mean, they have the cracks and the weathering. They don't look like brand new statues. They look like they're old and they've been there for a while, and now Venom is just trampling through them. It almost looks like this symbiote's trying to communicate with the cherub statue here. You have a tongue in each one of those little ones, those little rows of teeth. That's a nice touch. And here's a close-up of his right hand. Great shots, by the way. They have that backlit lighting going on. Camera is great. You see the high shine on the nails, on the veins. Big, monstrous hand. Onto the right foot, so they did go with the toenails. Same kind of shine as on the hands. You still see all of the movement going on the skin. The symbiote's alive, and it looks like that's what they try to portray here with, you have some matte areas, you have some textured areas, and then those high gloss, shiny, almost like vein areas is what I like to call them. Here's just a close-up of the base. So you have other elements besides like the stone and the rock. You have these rusted metal, jagged pieces here that the symbiote is flowing through as well. The portrait now is giving me a little bit more of Todd McFarlane vibes. I mean, I think anytime you see Venom without his tongue, that's what people are gonna say. With those bigger eyes, it's hard to say. It does look like Bagley. It looks like McFarlane. Maybe it's kind of somewhere in between. Here's a close-up from the front, and yeah, definitely gives me some McFarlane vibes here. I don't know. You guys got to let me know what you think in the comments, but love the browning to the yellow of the teeth, the shine on the tongue. The portraits look awesome. And that same portrait, kind of a position that we've seen before, him, you know, just planting his left arm down into the statue as he's getting ready to climb up out of the rubble. The transformation portrait here, great picture, man. This is like a desktop wallpaper, but you could get a better look at the Venom emblem on his chest. It's big and pronounced. You can see the musculature under it and the subtle tones of blue and white and shadowing there. A close-up of the transformation. So like I've already said, you can see the movement in this portrait. I think the Chicherik brothers did an amazing job of bringing this transformation to life. A lot going on this left arm. You can see so much movement, so much of the symbiote there. Definitely there's a lot of intricate detail sculpted into the symbiote. On this picture, it looks like you could remove all those tendrils. Not only will that save you a ton of space with the depth and everything, but it looks a little bit cleaner like this. I may prefer this without the symbiote tendrils, and if I know XM, they probably have pieces to put into place to cover up those keyholes. In the last picture here, I definitely like the green slime on the tongue. It's such a nice contrast to the just black and red and white that we see on this piece, even with the base. So that adds a nice amount of pop. A lot going on the skin, as you can see in this picture. And that's all the pictures. Now, I'm recording this the day before this is going up for pre-order. I'm assuming it's gonna do well. It's a great looking Venom piece. I don't know that it's my favorite. I don't think it takes top quarter scale piece. You know, I feel like it's a little bit messy. There's a lot going on. Hard to tell from pictures. I think in person, I'd be able to appreciate it a lot more. So we may have to get this one in to do an unboxing and review. I do like it. I still am a little bit on the fence. I need to see more. I need to see how all that skin texture looks in real life. I'm not typically a fan of the avocado skin, as you call it. I kind of like that smoother look. I mean, that's kind of how I've always seen Venom. But it makes sense for the symbiote, and it's a very uber realistic take. Let me know what you think about XM's new Venom in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.